The morning sun peeked through cracked blinds as Evelyn Harper, a 78-year-old widow, shuffled to her porch, clutching a cup of tea and an eviction notice. But it wasn't her being evicted, it was her own home that had been overtaken. 3 strangers had moved in weeks ago, claiming the old Victorian farmhouse was abandoned. Evelyn had been in the hospital when they broke in. When she returned, they laughed in her face and slammed the door. Now, the woman who had lived in that home for 50 years stood helplessly at the gate, watching strangers sunbathe on her porch furniture, smoke on her steps, and spray graffiti on the barn her late husband built. "I just want my home back," she whispered to the empty country road. Her pleas went ignored by the police. "It's a civil matter, ma'am," they said. Her neighbors pitied her but stayed out of it. No one wanted trouble with squatters. But that morning, something changed. Evelyn sat on the old bench at Miller's gas station, crying quietly into her hands. That's when a group of men in leather jackets rolled in on thunderous motorcycles. The lead rider, Grayson Cole, a broad-shouldered man with a gray beard and the kind of eyes that had seen too much, noticed her trembling hands and tear-streaked face. He took off his helmet and knelt beside her. "Ma'am," he said gently, "you look like the world just kicked your heart in. What happened?" She hesitated, but something in his voice felt safe. So she told him everything. The squatters. The mockery. The useless police. The house filled with memories she couldn't even step into. Grayson listened without interrupting. The other bikers stood quietly, their rough exteriors softening as her story unfolded. When she finished, Grayson stood up slowly. "What's your address, ma'am?" Evelyn blinked. "Why do you ask?" He looked over his shoulder, and 20 engines roared to life behind him. "Because no one, laughs at a woman's pain like that on my watch." 2 hours later, the distant hum of engines became a storm. 250 bikers from across 3 counties showed up, friends of friends, brothers of the road, men and women with patches that read Iron Wind Brotherhood. They filled the long gravel driveway like an army of thunder. The squatters came stumbling out, eyes wide, the cockiness draining from their faces. Grayson dismounted first and looked them dead in the eye. "You see that woman?" he said, pointing toward Evelyn, who stood trembling near the mailbox. "She worked 40 years for that house. Buried her husband there. Raised kids there. And you thought it'd be funny to take it from her?" One of the squatters smirked. "You can't touch us, old man. It's just property." Grayson chuckled, a low, dangerous sound. "Not today, son. Today it's family." The bikers didn't raise fists or weapons, they didn't have to. They just stood there, hundreds of them, silent and unflinching, engines idling like the heartbeat of justice. The squatters lasted 5 minutes before packing their bags and running for their cars. The crowd of bikers cheered as the last of them sped off down the road. Evelyn covered her mouth, tears spilling freely. "Why you got them out?" she whispered. Grayson smiled, wiping grease from his hands. "No, ma'am. You did. We just reminded them what respect looks like."